welcome to the Made for Business podcast, where Catholic moms come to learn how to build a business that is simple, holy, and profitable. I am your host, Sterling Jaquith, and today on episode 26, we are talking about creating demand. And I just got back from Mastermind. So I'm a life coach school certified coach, and they just put on their big kind of annual event where all the coaches come and they teach them a bunch of things. So my mind is just swirling with so many things, and I will teach you so many of them in the next coming months. But this was the first thing I wanted to share with you. So Stacey Bayman, who teaches coaches how to sell, she gave a talk on creating demand, which is kind of misleading already out of the gate. She said, when you guys talk about your clients, you're always talking about finding them or creating them. And she said, what you need to do instead is to just be in belief that the demand for as many clients as you want is already there. They're not coming. They're not thinking about it. They're not unsure about what they want. There are enough people to meet your demand right now. So I have two different businesses, right? I have a membership and then I do one-on-one business coaching. And so we're at, I don't know, 275, 285, somewhere around there in the membership. And I have 8 one-on-one business clients right now. And so I was thinking about what I want, the demand that I want. And I want 1,000 members in our membership. That was always our initial goal. And so we still have that goal. And then I would like 7 more business clients. So I think I have room for, 10 more. I want 7 more, and that would fit into my schedule, and then 3 on my waiting list. That's what I thought. I want 10 more business clients. And so keeping these 2 businesses in mind, and I really work on them separately, you guys. There's time in my schedule where I'm wearing one hat and time where I'm wearing the other hat. For those of you that do multiple things, I just think you have to do it that way. Of course, you don't have to, but it makes things a lot easier when you know which business you're working on. So for my one-on-one business, the idea that 10 women are willing, able, ready, and want to work with me right now is the idea of just believing that the demand is already there. So it's not the demand for how many people you're going to work with in the lifetime of your business or even for the year, but to get to your short-term goal. So for me, I had this goal of being fully booked with 3 people on my wait list because I want to experience what it feels like to have a wait list and have a couple people on the wait list. And a wait list, for those of you that don't know, what they do is generally you have your clients pay like a third or a fourth of the package price to hold their spot. And then they just wait until there's a spot open, which generally isn't very long. So I started working with several people in the fall. And of course, I would love to continue working with them. So that's always my hope, is that they say yes. But usually someone says no, and then that spot opens up, right? So when someone's on a wait list, it's not usually that they're on the wait list for months and months. It's usually a matter of a couple weeks. And you can also send them emails or do videos for people that are on your wait list so they feel like they get to work with you in the meantime. So a wait list can be a really great thing, a really fun thing, and a really good way to grow your business without maxing out your schedule. You want to honor what you decided about your schedule. Okay, so that was a little bit of a rabbit trail about wait lists. But what was so interesting to me was when I sat and did this exercise and imagined that there were 10 women who were absolutely ready, willing, and able to say yes right now, I felt fear. Fear came up for me in my body. And I didn't doubt that there were actually. There's just so many Catholics, so many Catholic moms, so many Catholic moms who need help in their business. Like, I know that the number of women are out there. But when I really pictured them kind of lined up and ready to say yes, I felt fear. And this is the power of coaching, you guys, because I knew to slow down and get really curious about that. And I'm getting very good at feeling feelings in my body, where they are, how they feel, and then labeling them. So I chased this a little bit because fear didn't make any sense to me. I'm not scared of getting clients. I'm not scared of putting them on my calendar, I'm really good at managing my time, and I could handle 7 more clients on my calendar and 3 on my wait list. So what I realized was coming up for me was when I allowed myself to sit in belief that the demand was already there. I didn't have to create the demand. The demand is already there. My brain was scared that that meant I was going to stop doing all the things. That's what my brain said. But oh no, if you don't have to create demand, if the demand is already there, what is going to happen if you stop doing all the things? And I saw that thought and I thought, well, that's kind of silly, brain. One, I don't even know what you mean by all the things, right? And why would we have to stop doing all the things? But I wanted to slow this down and bring this to you guys so you could see my own thought work process and what it looks like to really sit with yourself and explore. So I actually got coached on this twice because I wanted somebody else's opinion. Once in a group I'm part of that has an Ask a Coach feature where you can put a question in and a coach somewhere answers that question and spits it out to you. And then a second group that I'm in that has group coaching, and I raised my hand and got coached on this. I wanted to share that with you because I really believe in the power of coaching and I use coaching a lot. I'm in a lot of groups and I raised my hand. Oh, you guys, I was coached by Brooke Castillo today. So that was fun. I'm part of her group called Scholars, and I joined the VIP call. I raised my hand. She called on me first, and I asked a question about my marriage. So that was super fun. The coaching was not fun. It was intense, but it's always fun to be picked. But I share that because I am constantly investing in myself. I'm constantly being part of programs. I don't constantly sign up for programs, but I am part of programs and I use them. I especially use them if I'm considering adding a new one. And then I go, hey, Sterling, are you using the ones you already have? But I really do use them a lot. I really raise my hand a lot. And so if you're part of Masters, I just want to encourage you to go raise your hand, get coached, because it really helps speed up our progress. And so each of these coaches pointed out something a little bit different for me with this thought. What if I stop doing all the things? And so one of the coaches pointed out that I'm in control of whether I stop doing the things or not. So she was saying, you can just decide ahead of time that you're going to believe the demand is there and still do the things. And then she also said, also decide what the things are, because brains are very dramatic, right? And so I decided, what are the things that I'm committed to doing, even if demand is there? Like, let's say this week, all 10 of you came and I signed all 10 of you and I had 15 people on my calendar and 3 people on my wait list. I wouldn't suddenly fall off the map and stop posting on my Instagram account. I wouldn't stop sending out weekly emails. I wouldn't stop recording my podcast. I wouldn't stop commenting in the Made for Business group. And so I realized that a lot of these things that I was worried about not doing, I really enjoy doing and I would still do. And so I just had to kind of hold the hand of my brain. I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that, but I just kind of like hold the hand of my scared self in my brain and I'm like, sweetie, it's going to be okay. We're going to get those clients. The demand is already there. I loved this teaching from Stacy. The demand is already there. And then she said, act as if you believe the demand is already there. And I noticed that when I went to that place in my mind and then calmed myself down that I would still actually work, I wouldn't just stop working, that I would do really the same things that I'm doing right now, but from this place of, I already have my clients. I already have the demand, which was exactly her point, but I had to kind of jump around to get there. Her point was, when we work from this idea that we have to find clients or create demand, it feels like pressure. And we probably don't show up as well as when we already believe the demand is there. And she shared that when she created her flagship program, 2K for 2K, She wanted to create the demand of, I think, 50 people signing up in a launch. And I think she said it took her a year and a half to get to that point where 50 people signed up at once. And she said, but her work was just to hold the belief the whole time. I know that they're there. I know the demand is there. They already want this. And then here was the question she would ask herself, which I thought was so great. How do I need to say it in a different way so that they feel welcome to say yes? She said, our job is to get them from desire, which they already have, to a yes. So the demand is there. They want it. They get what it is. But there's just something else we need to say to get them to say yes and sign up. Because remember, brains are a no. Brains are like, I don't want to do that new thing. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I certainly don't want a coach who's going to make me uncomfortable. I don't want to push myself. I just want to stay in the cave and take a nap. That's what your brain wants. That's what your client's brains wants. So their brains are a no first. We have to invite them in slowly and simply. And she shared this analogy. She said, imagine your offer was the after party at the Oscars that Jay-Z and Beyonce host. I did not know that was a thing, but apparently that's a thing. There's a party that Jay-Z and Beyonce host after the Oscars, and everyone wants to go. And they're not planning that party wondering, are they going to come? Are people going to show up? Right? They know it's the hottest ticket of the season. They know everyone is clamoring to go. And they want to make people feel welcome and invited. And they plan it from that space. They plan to have however many people they want to have. They plan enough food. They plan enough entertainment. They send out the number of invitations, probably more than they expect to come. But they are just acting as if it is in demand. And then she said, from the flip side, when we are invited to a party, probably someone else's party other than Beyonce and Jay-Z, in order for us to say yes, we want to feel safe. We want to know that we're going to know some people there. Or if we don't, that we're going to figure out how to talk to them. We want to know that there are going to be people like us at the party. We want to know that we know how to act at the party. We know what the protocol is. Like, what should I wear? We want to know that there's something that we can eat there, right? Maybe if it was Friday and they're serving pepperoni pizza, I might be worried that they didn't know that I was Catholic and I wasn't going to eat that. And so all of this is to say that when we just change the way that we are thinking before we do our work, and we believe the demand is already there. And then when we ask ourselves, what do they need to know to feel safe to say yes to coming to the party? They already want to come. They're free. They're able. But there's something we have to say that makes them feel safe enough to say yes. So I just loved this whole analogy and the question that she posed to the group. It was so powerful. And, I'm 5 days away, so I'm still sitting in this belief that there are 10 women who are ready right now and want to do one-on-one business coaching with me. And I have to think of a way to make them feel like it's safe. I think my clients want to know that I'm going to lead them closer to God and not closer to greed. I think my clients want to know that they can continue to be good moms and spend time with their family. I think my clients want to know that they can get clients. Some of them are just worried about getting clients and they feel like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Some of them are worried that they see what's really possible for them and the success scares them. So for some of you, it's that the failure scares you. And for some of you, it's that the success scares you. What would I do if I had too many clients? What would I do if I started making a lot of money? Our brains are always a no. They want to stay safe. They don't want anything to change. So I want you to think about your clients and think about all the ways that you can tell them that it is safe to come work with you. And I want you to work on cultivating the belief that the demand is already there. You don't need to create it. You don't need to find them. There are already the number of people you want to work with right now. In your world, God can bring them to you who desire what you do, are able to pay for it, and they want it. And we just have to make them feel safe to say yes. All right, you guys, I hope that was as powerful for you as it was for me. If you're not in Made for Business, get in there. It's $49, you guys. It's just like, to me, that's just the most no-brainer thing I offer. Like, definitely go join that. And I will be sharing a lot more of Mastermind in that group because I took buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of notes. They were pages, not buckets, but I like the word buckets, so I'm going to say it. All right, you guys, I'm praying for you. Get to work and have a blessed day.